Hello team and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be another interesting video and this is going to be live hands-on video. So today's video is about like a mini project in the monitoring domain. So basically, usually we store our source code on GitHub or GitLab, but it's not easy to track the changes. Like if there are hundreds or thousands of repositories, it's not easy to know like what are the latest changes done in which repository, where was the latest pull request raised, and what kind of commits are there. So it's not easy to track those changes, right? So what we can do, that generally when we talk about monitoring, we have data sources, which is the one of the most important part of monitoring. Using data sources, we can get metrics and then we can monitor those things, right? Similarly, inside Grafana, the support for data sources is around 166. Okay, so out of those 166 data sources, there are two data sources which we can utilize for this purpose, for monitoring our repositories, right? So those two data sources are GitHub and GitLab. They also are supported by Grafana. So what we can do, we can install those data sources and configure them in such a way that we are able to get the details of our repositories, what kind of repositories we are having, how many repositories, commits, pull requests, and all those details. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm going to show you. And also team, a batch 7 has been announced and it is open for enrollments. All the details you will get from the description, but I would recommend before enrollment, make sure to check out the syllabus, because we have added a lot of things in upcoming batch, and we have also added Python for DevOps this time. Okay, and yeah, let me show you what other things that I have added so that you get a very good idea about what exactly you'll be getting after enrollment. Okay, so yeah, and the course will be starting from 2nd of November, but as of now we are having one coupon available that is valid till 12th of October, till DUSSEHRA. Okay, so yeah, with that being said, let's get started. So team, before we get started, make sure to subscribe to channel so that you don't miss out any of the project-based videos, because constantly I upload project videos plus scenario-based videos. Okay. Also team, batch 7 has been started. You can check out all the details in the description and you can enroll because it is getting started. And as of now, we are having a coupon which is active till 12th of October. Talking about the new topics that we are adding. So constant, like common thing that we already know, Linux shell scripting, Linux networking, and everything is there. Okay. But the most important concept is like Kubernetes. So in Kubernetes, new topics that we have added. First of all, service mesh implementation, that will be hands-on, highly available, and RBAC cluster, like RBAC, how we can implement RBAC, and how we can create or set up a highly available cluster. Then this is the most important part, which will be going to help you ingress an SSL certificate. Okay, even on YouTube, if you see, you'll find a lot of ingress videos, but nobody is showing how you can add a custom domain and add a certificate, SSL certificate, to your deployed application. That will be shown completely hands-on. Then auto scaling, how we can do with demo. Rollback, how we can perform rollback in Kubernetes, that will be shown. Helm chart, so I'll be showing you how you can set up Helm chart and how you can package your application using Helm chart and deploy it. Argo CD complete setup and project. Then full stack projects will be there. Even when we talk about Azure DevOps, so whatever thing that I'm going to show you, first of all, in whole course, at least whatever topic I'm teaching, at least 2 projects will be there. Like if I'm teaching, let's say, build tools, so in build tools, first I'll teach Maven, then I'll teach npm, then I'll be showing you how you can build projects with that. Even in Azure DevOps, I'm going to use 2 projects minimum: Java based normal application, Java based full stack, Java based application with multi-tier, like with a database, in Node.js with database. Okay, in Azure DevOps, I'm going to show you how you can write CI/CD pipeline for deploying to AKS, for deploying to web apps, that also for Maven application, then Node.js application, both of them. Okay, then we are having infrastructure. It will be completely deep dive this time because I'm creating completely new videos. Then we have monitoring. In monitoring, local setup, local like monitoring. Then I'm going to show you how you can monitor Kubernetes worker node, plus how you can monitor any application that is deployed in Kubernetes, how you can monitor that. Okay, best part, I have added Python for DevOps because a lot of requests was coming like create videos for Python. So I'll be adding Python for DevOps videos as well. Whole course will be there included within this batch 7. Okay, in detail, you want to see syllabus, you can just click on the link in the description. You will find everything. Okay, so yeah, check it out, and if it interests you, if you want to learn something within coming days from November, then make sure to enroll. Okay, now let's get started with our today's session. So now today, as I mentioned, we are going to implement a mini project in which we want to monitor our repository. All the details in our repository, we want to monitor that. Okay, so first of all, let's start with GitHub. Okay, We can do it for GitHub as well as GitLab, both of them, but let's start with GitHub. Okay, now we have GitHub open. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an instance. Okay, and when you are going to practice it, what I would suggest to create the machine should be size take medium, T2 medium. You know, whatever task I show you, minimum take T2 medium, because if you go below it, your machine will hang or it will like be very slow. So I suggest whatever you do, whatever I am showing, make sure to use T2 medium minimum. Okay, keep here we can select, and here we can select a security group. Just to show you the security group, the ports that I have open in my security group, let me show you so that you can just keep those ports open in general way. Okay, so these are the some ports that I keep open. Let me remove some specific ports. Yeah, so these are the ports that I would recommend that you should keep open in your machine, because most of the tasks that we usually perform will be done within this range only. Okay, now coming back here, this should be a server. Storage, I'm going to go with 25. Okay, and launch instance. So now this machine we are creating, and on this machine I'm going to set up Grafana. Okay, and you know, most interesting part about this project is that generally when we set up Prometheus, we have to set up Prometheus on certain server as well, right? But here, since it's a mini project and we are going to use GitLab and GitHub as a data source itself. Okay, so we don't have to separately set those data sources on some server or some machine. They are already running, right? Okay, so first let us connect to this machine. I have copied the public IP address and I can connect to it. Let me rename this and put the IP address here. In case you are doing this for the first time, make sure you are having 𝗘𝗃 available on your machine. And yeah, then we have to click on session SSH, then IP address, public IP address of the machine that you created, then username, which in our case is going to be Ubuntu, advanced SSH, then private key, and we have to uh, uh, select the private key that we have kept on our local system. Okay, so I'll select it and click on OK. I'll just rename it for the time being, and I'll rename it to Grafana. Okay, and let us access again. Okay, so now my machine is running. First thing that you are supposed to do is going to be sudo apt update. Just going to update all the default packages that are available in this Linux repository so that they become available for usage. Okay, meanwhile this is being done, what we can do, we can go here on browser. Let me close this on browser, and here you have to search for Grafana download. Okay, this will take you to the page, and here you'll be able to see, like, based on what kind of machine you are having, you will get the steps to install it. Okay, this link will also be in the description. So we are having Linux machine, and here we are having Ubuntu machine, so we can go with these steps. If you are having anything else, you can just scroll down and you can get these steps. Okay, so first command is this, to add a user, and I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. Remember, this is a mini project, but this is like highly useful project because it's not very easy to monitor or manage your repositories. You can see as of now I'm having around 100 repositories. Okay, and there are tons of projects, tons of branches, so many pull requests and so many issues are there. So how we can monitor those, right? And this is the best way to perform this. Okay, second command we have to download a deb package. So let's download. And for the third step, we are having the depackage command, which is going to depackage it so that it can run. Okay, so let's wait for this. And yeah, depending on network speed or so, this may take quite some time. Okay, at least I think 7 minutes it's saying. So yeah, let's wait for this to complete. So team, now we can see the status here that packages has been downloaded. Okay, so once package is downloaded, last step that we have to do is depackage it. So we can copy that command and run it here. This is also going to give you the command to start the server of Grafana. Okay, and also team, Grafana server you can set up in Kubernetes, you can set up in Docker, anything you want, you can set it up. Okay, now before, see, this command will start the server, and these two commands we have to make sure that we are running it so that whenever server restarts, restart means like this virtual machine restarts, so Grafana should be automatically started. Okay, now we can run this command to start the Grafana server, and by default Grafana runs on port 3000. So we need to make sure that port 3000 is also open. Now I can copy the public IP address of the machine. I can paste it here and port 3000. Click enter, and you can see Grafana is running, right? by default, the username password of Grafana is going to be admin and admin by default. Okay, username admin, sorry about that, admin, password is also going to be admin. So click on that, and now we have to just set up any password. So you can set it up whatever you want. I'm going to set up as per me, and let me confirm this. Okay, click on submit. Now basically what has just happened, that we have set up our Grafana and Grafana is running fine. Next step is what? To add a data source, so that like Grafana knows what exactly we want to monitor, right? So we know that we want to monitor GitHub now, right? For that purpose, first thing that you have to do in GitHub site is like click on your profile here, scroll down to settings, and on left side scroll down till you find developer settings. Okay, here go to third option which says personal access token. Now you know that at this point, whichever server or any specific website you want to connect, we have to use personal access token. Like for example, like if you want to use working with Azure DevOps, so most places we have to use personal access tokens. Same thing we have to use here also, right? Because how Grafana is going to access GitHub and get the information once Grafana has the personal access to Grafana has the personal access token which can access GitHub account, then only it can monitor, right? Now, so make sure you go to here and we have to create a token. Okay, but before that you need to understand what kind of permission you have to give, because if I click on this token classic, and since I have MFA enabled, let me allow it from my phone. And I would highly recommend guys you also do the same thing, so that your account is secure, because nobody will be able to access or make any changes once you provide. Okay, so here you can provide name, you can set up expiration, but here we have the scope. Okay, so what level of permission you want to give, that you need to decide. From where you can get that? So if I go to Grafana, okay, first thing, go to connections, data sources. Okay, click on add data source, and here you have to see here these many data sources are there. Okay, but here you won't be able to find GitHub by default, so you have to click on find more data source plugins. Click on that, and here simply search for GitHub came, click on that. Okay, I can see information about like about this plugin itself is completely visible here, so you can check it out. Okay, and we have to click on install, and this is going to install this plugin, and this will make sure that GitHub data source is available. Okay, you can see now it is status showing uninstall and add new data source. That means GitHub plugin for data source has been installed. Okay, and now we are ready to use it. Now what we need to do, now we need to understand what permission we have to give. Okay, you can see here what settings we have. We have to give personal access token we have to give, default organization, default repository, and GitHub enterprise URL. Enterprise URL in case you are using enterprise URL, because many companies they use the enterprise URL. Okay, now let's see what else we are having here. Okay, here you can see what are the permission we have to give on token: public repo access, status, deployment, read packages, read user email, okay, and read or read project. Okay, now so let us give these permissions right now. So team, now let me show you. First let us give a name. So I'm going to give a name like token-1, and here first I'm giving the access, complete access on repo, so that private as well as public repo access will be given. Okay, then I'm giving admin, or inside that we are giving the permission to read the organization, in case, because you know in GitHub we have the option to create organization, so that the projects we can keep separately inside the organization. So we need to give, in case we are using organization, we need to make sure that we are giving the organization read permission. Okay, after that I'm giving permission for read repo hook. Whatever repository hooks we are having, I want to give permission, read permission for that as well. Then I'm giving permission for reading the user data and user email. Okay, and then I'm giving permission for read enterprise, in case we are having the enterprise, so profile data we should be able to read it. Audit log, this is not really required, but I have just added it in case we have some option to utilize it, we could use it. Okay, then I have given permission for read project, read access of the projects. Okay, generate the token, copy this token, and you can keep it somewhere safe so that you can utilize it later on. Okay, so I have pasted it. Okay, remember that once you make sure to check it, make sure to copy and paste it somewhere, because it will be gone after some time. Okay, so this part is done. We can go back to Grafana now. Okay, and here we can click on data source, add data source, and this time we can search GitHub. Okay, click on this. So whatever name you want, you can give it. Now here you can see the same option, like whatever permission we have to give, you can get it. Just check it out that here. Okay, how we are connecting? We can use either personal access token or we can use GitHub app. Okay, better option is personal access token because directly you can just put the token and that's fine. Okay, here you can select what kind of GitHub you are using. So if you are using basic or enterprise, you can select that. Click on save and test, and you can see data source is working now, right? Now, so data source is added, but we have not yet created the dashboard. So for dashboard, if you're going to do it manually, it will take a lot of time. What I suggest, you can simply go on Google. You can search here GitHub data source dashboard Grafana. So what it's going to do, it's going to give an ID for you. If I click on this one, GitHub plugin, sorry, not this one, one second. Grafana default, yeah, this one, Grafana default, Grafana labs. Scroll down and you will be able to see some ID here. So I'll copy this, go back to Grafana, click here, or you can click to dashboard. Here click on new, click on import. See, if you want to create manually everything, you can click on new dashboard. If you want to create, if you want to just use a template, you can go with import. Click on import, paste that ID that we have copied, which is 14,000. Click on load. Okay. Now, here name you can select. Let's say I'll put the name as DevOps Shack GitHub. Okay, this is done, and rest everything is fine. We can make sure that we are selecting the correct data source, which is Grafana GitHub data source. Click on import, and let's wait for this to come up. Meanwhile, let me put it this side. Yeah, close this. Also, team, again, I'm saying make sure to check it out the YouTube channel, because lots of projects are, mostly I try to put projects as well as real, like scenario based implementation. So make sure to check it out. Okay, coming back here. Okay, now it's still in loading status. You can see these are the days, these are the things that you are able to see. But these things, these details that you see here, what details? Commits, pull request, issues created, active issues. Okay, and these are still in loading status. Okay, but this is not the data of our GitHub. So how do we get our GitHub data? Okay, first here we have selected GitHub. In organization, you have to put the organization name. In case you haven't created any organization, simply put your username. For example, I'll put this Valadi246. Okay, put that, and it's going to refresh, and here all your repositories will be visible, public, private, based on whatever like permission we have given to personal access token. Everything will be visible here. Okay, so let's check out some of the new project. I'll search here multi-tier Java, click on that. Okay, branch. So branch, we need to provide the correct branch which you want to get details. I'll put main, and last 7 days, so I'll just put like last 1 year. Okay, so in last 1 year, these many commits have been done to this specific repository, and pull request, no pull request was created, commits. Okay, so in commit side, you can see here whoever has done the commit manually or whatever, all those details will be there. Okay, these things that you are seeing. So if someone has done the commit and used this kind of email, then it will be visible to you. Okay, issues, no issues generated, contributors just me because I am the only one who has done this. Okay, rest whatever details are available, that will be visible to you. Okay, similar to that, let's check out someone else, board game. Okay, you can see here here we had lots of pull requests created. There are total 82 commits. Okay, and here all those details will be there, pull request and whatever, open, merged, closed, complete status will be able to see. Okay, so in this way, this is quite easy way to monitor your repository in GitHub side. Okay, now let us see how we can do the same for GitLab repository. Okay, so let us do that as well.